So it is LVP day at my house, and I am so excited that I get to put down this luxury vinyl plank flooring. It was 4 months ago that this basement was submerged in 1.5 inches of water because of a sump pump failure due to a storm. And we were very fortunate that we decided to invest in sump pump failure insurance. So we got $10,000 to renovate our basement and put it back together. But one of the coolest things about using LVP in a house is that it is waterproof. Literally, this is the floor that I took up after I sucked up 1 inch of water off of it. It was truly submerged. And afterwards, we let all of the pieces dry out. We've been renovating the rest of the basement, and it's time now to reinstall the floor. So all the planks you see at my feet are not in place. We just laid them out loosely like a puzzle so that we knew which pieces went where. So we are ready to do a full install. But I wanted to make sure I shared with you guys some of the basics of using luxury vinyl plank or luxury vinyl tile. So make sure you subscribe because there are plenty more videos coming with details of how we've done this basement renovation and stuck to that $10,000 budget that we got from our insurance company. Let's talk about options with vinyl plank. Now you can get luxury vinyl plank in wood-like grain planks, anywhere from 2 to 4 foot lengths. They can be varied per style. And you can also get luxury vinyl tile. And those pieces are more rectangular or square and look like ceramic. So you can get either the look of ceramic or the look of wood with the vinyl installation. Now, the really awesome thing about this, it is very DIY doable. Most of these products you can cut with a utility knife, so you don't need any fancy tools. Some of the styles that have the core tech or the cork backing may need a table saw or a miter saw or jigsaw, just because they're a little bit thicker and they don't snap quite as easily as the thinner models. Now, these are a click and lock technology. They have a tongue and a groove, and they click together and snap into place. Now, these can be installed as a floating floor that just lays on your existing floor, or they can be glued down. I prefer the floating method because when it is a floating floor, if your floor literally ends up floating, submerged in water, it's very easy to uninstall, let it dry out, and reinstall like we're doing here. So I prefer the click rather than the glue. Now, the important thing to know though is that because this is a floating floor, you have to make sure you have a stable subfloor. So this can be installed over ceramic tile, it can be installed over wood, and it can be installed over linoleum, which is what I have under here, is glued down, secure linoleum. You cannot put a floating floor over another floating floor. So if you have a laminate floor that is floating, then you'd have to rip up the laminate before you put down the vinyl. Now, the vinyl is also ideal for those moisture-prone rooms, the bathroom, the laundry room, and a basement. I would never put laminate in those rooms because if they do get wet, they pucker. These were literally submerged for probably 7 hours in water, and it's perfectly sound. The backing is intact, the finish is good, the edges are sound. So this is a product that you are investing in, a quality product that you can reuse in an accident. And the only thing that you're going to have to pay for then is the labor, or you can DIY. Now, when it comes to installing LVP, you have to think about what direction do you want to run your pattern. So for me, I wanted the pattern to go this way across my room. So I'm starting over in that corner behind my little countertop area, and I'm working left to right. Now, you have to decide, do you want to work right to left? It doesn't matter. It all depends that you keep the pattern moving in the same way because of the tongue and groove. So once you start in one direction, you have to keep moving in that direction. And it is important that you stagger your seams. Never ever should the seams be lined up. you want to have them staggered at least 6 inches apart. So if I have a seam here, I want another seam at least 6 inches over in the next row. And sometimes that means shifting pieces. So you decide to put a 3-foot piece in the beginning of one row and then, a 4-foot piece in the beginning of the next row. So it's about planning out your pattern, stopping and looking to make sure that you don't have too many lines every other row. Maybe it's every 3rd row that a seam is in the same position. So it depends on whether or not you have all pieces that are the same length, or you have a variety of staggered pieces. Planning your LVP project is the most important piece to the entire thing. Now, I'd love for you to subscribe and follow along. There are more videos to come, like I said, and if you would be interested in learning more about my private DIY mentoring, make sure that you click the link above, sign up for the newsletter, and you can learn about the classes and the more hands-on teaching that I provide for women homeowners. So I'm going to dive into the LVP and can't wait to show you the finished product.